AMD has been playing chess while the market watches checkers. Yes, it's true that AMD may have underperformed Nvidia and Intel recently, which makes headlines and clicks. But beneath the ticker tape drama there's a serious storyline, massive revenue acceleration, deepening AI partnerships, and a deliberate push into hybrid quantum supercomputing architectures. Put that together, and you may have a high-quality growth company trading with upside that some analysts peg as meaningfully higher from here. What the critics say, and why the chorus matters. Some analysts and market commentators caution that AMD faces headwinds, intense competition, the heavy capital intensity of cutting-edge chip design, and valuation sensitivity if execution slips. Those are reasonable cautions. Investing without acknowledging risks is like going on a safari and forgetting your mosquito repellent. Still, many street analysts who are bullish on AMD see a path for substantial upside. Figures you'll read as analysts projecting as much as 42% upside from current levels and some write-ups, which is why the stock keeps getting attention. If the company delivers on the catalysts below, that upside is exactly the kind of payoff investors are hoping for. Catalyst 1: AI demand, and AMD's full-stack play. Here's where things get interesting. AMD isn't just selling one chip, it's assembling an ecosystem: high-performance CPUs, EPYC, purpose-built accelerators, Instinct GPUs, smart network and I/O cards, Pensando, acquired/partnered tech, and open software stacks to glue it together. That's an ideal posture as data centers and cloud builders look for integrated, efficient hardware stacks to run large LLMs and multimodal AI workloads. AMD's Advancing AI 2025 messaging and product roadmaps emphasize exactly this open, flexible approach, appealing to hyperscalers and enterprises that want alternatives to a single vendor lock. If AI infrastructure spending continues its furious run, AMD's diversified hardware plus software strategy gives it multiple ways to capture revenue. Think of hyperscalers like culinary masters who need a kitchen full of specialized tools, not just a single superoven. AMD is bringing the full kitchen: ovens, EPYC blenders, Instinct GPUs, knives, and ICs, and recipes software, so chefs can create the next generation of AI dishes. Catalyst 2: Real revenue growth and strong guidance. AMD's recent quarters show real, not just hope for the future, growth. The company reported strong revenue beats, and management's guidance for upcoming quarters pointed to continued expansion driven by server, EPYC, and accelerator ramps. Analysts track these numbers closely because revenue growth combined with sustained gross margins equals the kind of free cash flow that turns skeptics into buyers. Put bluntly, revenue momentum plus margin leverage equals institutional buyers piling in. And when institutions buy, that's often when analysts begin penciling in those double-digit upside targets. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, like the video, it means much to me. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you have commented, let's continue. Catalyst 3: Partnerships that matter, IBM, Cohere, and more. AMD isn't going it alone. Strategic partnerships, the kind where big players bet their reputations and budgets, are meaningful. IBM and AMD announced collaborations around scalable, open platforms that blend classical high-performance computing with quantum software and hardware stacks, while AMD's reported collaborations with AI firms like Cohere and cloud providers help ensure real workloads run on AMD silicon. Those partnerships are more than PR. They're commercial validation that AMD's tech fits the needs of complex customers. Long story short, when enterprise heavyweights design their future around your chips, demand tends to follow. Partnerships are like co-signing a school project. When the popular kid IBM says they'll work with you, suddenly everyone else wants to be on the team. Catalyst 4: The quantum angle. Yes, quantum matters. Quantum computing is still early, but AMD has been purposeful about building hybrid, quantum plus classical systems, the architectures that experts increasingly say will be the practical path forward for the next decade. AMD's work on integrating EPYC processors and Instinct accelerators with quantum hardware and open software stacks positions it to be a valuable partner to institutions building the earliest practical quantum-enhanced workloads. That's not a quick revenue slam dunk, but it's a structural advantage. Being one of the few companies building the interface between classical and quantum could yield outsized opportunities years out, and investors who value optionality like to pay a premium for it. Macro tailwind: the $200 billion chip rally in early October 2025. Context matters. In early October 2025, global chipmakers added more than $200 billion in market value as investors scrambled to get exposure to AI's hardware story. That rally wasn't just about NVIDIA. It lifted many suppliers, fabricators, and memory makers as investors anticipated demand for everything from GPUs to high-bandwidth memory and packaging. That wave of capital can re-rate companies that are actually positioned to sell into AI infrastructure demand, and AMD is squarely in that category. When the tide rises, boats that have holes patched and engines tuned often climb fastest. Analysts' math: how they reached that 42% upside. Analysts make models. Those models are collections of assumptions: unit shipments, average selling prices, margin expansion, and multiple expansion driven by better cash flows or investor sentiment. The up to 42% upside number you've seen in headlines is a shorthand for analysts who assume AMD hits a favorable combo of revenue beats, continued server/accelerator adoption, and a market that prices the company more like a high-growth infrastructure play. It's not gospel, it's an arithmetic outcome of bullish assumptions, but it's useful because it shows professional investors can plausibly see a big upside if AMD's execution matches the narrative. Remember, models are maps, not territory. They're only as good as the inputs. What could trip AMD up? We'd be doing you a disservice if we didn't say what can go wrong: competitive pressure, NVIDIA's software ecosystem, and Intel's manufacturing muscle matter. AMD must keep pace on performance per watt and software compatibility. Geopolitics and export controls, advanced accelerators, and certain chips are often subject to export reviews. That can limit addressable markets. Note this as well. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, "Who then can be saved?" But Jesus beheld them, and said unto them, "With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all, and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me, in the regeneration when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Matthew 19:25-30. If we fully obey the Lord, the Creator of heaven and earth, and carefully follow all His commandments, He has promised to set us high above all the nations of the earth. Deuteronomy 28. We shall be blessed when we come in and when we go out. I appeal to you to accept God and let Him be your guide, for He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8. Want more information? Please check the description section. That's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. 3 more favors I request from you. First, like this video, subscribe, and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you greatly encourage me to continue bringing to you insightful content. Do not miss out on our future videos full of insight. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support means so much to us. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone who may benefit. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts about today's video. Wish you God's blessings and care. Faith and prayer will do what no power on earth can accomplish. See you in the next video by God's mercy.